Oh no! You've received a letter of inquiry from the Commission enclosing a complaint against you as a broker. What should you do? First of all, take a deep breath and read the letter of inquiry carefully. Included with the letter is a copy of the complaint or whatever document caused the inquiry file to be opened and any attachments the Commission received from the complainant. Review those as well. Now what? As a broker, if you receive a letter of inquiry, Commission rules require that you respond within 14 days of receipt. If you need more time, just call the staff person who signed your letter. He or she will give you plenty of time to prepare your response. How should you prepare your response? Review your transaction file and consider the complaint as objectively as you can. Write an overview of the transaction and respond to each of the specific questions in the letter you received. Should you consult an attorney? That is certainly your right. At this point, no judgment has been made and no decision has been reached. The Commission staff just wants to know both sides of the story. You can hire an attorney to help you with that, or at any other time during the investigation process or thereafter. Gather your thoughts and the relevant documents. Think about who else might be able to shed light on what happened. For example, your broker in charge, an inspector, or a closing attorney might have additional information about the transaction that could help. Reread the letter of inquiry to see what you've been asked to provide. Be sure to include all the requested documents with your response. Sometimes this will be particular information. Other times, it will be a copy of your entire file. If you aren't sure what is needed, give the case processor a call. He or she would much rather answer your questions than have to send you multiple requests for the same information. Even if you talk to the case processor, you must still file a written response. Be aware that a copy of whatever you send may go to the complaining witness and will become public record. So don't ask that something be kept confidential. If you are concerned that some records contain confidential information, call the case processor who can discuss your concerns with you. Send your written response and copies of the requested documents to the case processor before the deadline or extension. If you send your response on paper, avoid staples. And don't worry about putting the documents into notebooks or special binders. That's not necessary. The processor will review your initial response and the related documents. He or she may have follow-up questions for you and others involved in the transaction. After the processor is satisfied that the investigation is complete, there are a couple of possible outcomes. If there isn't sufficient evidence of a violation to warrant discipline, the file will be closed without further action. The case processor may have a suggestion about how to avoid future complaints. If there is evidence of a violation that might warrant some action, the Real Estate Commission members will decide whether the case should go to a hearing. Don't contact Commission members about a case. The Commission's decision is based upon a summary of the facts of the case. The identity of the parties is not included in the summary. Both you and the complaining witness will be notified of the Commission's decision in writing. If the Commission orders a hearing, you will then have time to talk to the Commission attorney handling your case about what happens next and possible ways to settle the case. As always, you have the right to consult a lawyer. If the Commission finds that no hearing is necessary, you're done and the case is closed. Remember that the Commission routinely receives between 800 and 1,000 complaints each year, and about 10% of those go to a hearing. Your best opportunity to make sure that no hearing is called against you is to represent your clients in accordance with the law. Make no misrepresentations, keep good records to verify your conduct, and promptly, fully, and honestly answer the questions presented in the initial letter of inquiry. For more information, contact the Commission at 919-875-3700 or find us online at ncrec.gov.